Today is the 23rd of April 2016, it's whatever day, Tuesday I think. And this is my last model kit. Okay, it's from TT Hongli and it's a MS Zaku II. It's a 021 third party, and we have seen Zaku many times, so I'm not going to do a runner breakdown. Bought this where? Bought this in Chow Kit of Kuala Lumpur in a shop called something, I'm not sure, on Jalan Raja Laut. Let's see, it's a shop called Union 8 on Jalan Raja Laut, Chow Kit. 440 ringgit on the 5th of July 2013. Let's see what's inside. It was last box in the shop. I do not know whether the shop is still selling Gundams. I haven't gone there in 3 years. Now it's 2016, yeah. I haven't been there in 3 years because I stopped buying all this crap. It's a bit wet, I think. This last box. So the manual, and strangely enough, all the runners was not like in plastic bags. So all the runners were out in the open. So as I said earlier, I'm not going to do a what do you call runner showcase, because everybody knows what it looks like. This is a Zaku. We have the usual suspects, the springs, the runners, the sticker. Let's open this up and see what's inside. Stickers and dry transfers. The last Zaku I did was the Johnny Whedon one, so yeah. Manual's the same, everything's the same. Let's see, maybe a different looking leg here. There's some thrusters, 3 of them actually. Two thrusters, 3? Yeah, 3 thrusters for this, what's his face? Char Aznable. Char Aznable. And that's about it. And I have the MSE glue type, I think this is called. No thrusters at the back of the leg, and it comes with missile pods. That's what's different about it. And nothing. Right off the bat, I'm having trouble with this MS Zaku II, Char Aznable's version, since it's red in color. Yeah, just at the first one, I'm missing polycaps. Polycaps 10 and polycaps 11 for the torso, which is this one. This is where the pilot will sit, and you can wiggle him left to right, I assume, or something about that. So I don't have the polycaps for here and here, so I'm not sure whether I'll be able to continue doing this mobile suit, because the PC 200 is not available. It's terrible. This is the one thing that I needed, the PC 200, and it's not the same as this one, which is given by TT Hongli. So shit indeed. And there are no polycaps that look like it, like the one I need now. So trouble. Let's see how it goes without these polycaps. Now this hobby knife has a new blade, yeah, and the blade is very cheap. think I bought this in Daiso for how many blades? I think it's 5 ringgit, which is roughly about maybe $1 2 years ago. I think 2 years ago, yeah, $1.50 2 years ago. Now it should be even cheaper because the US dollar is like sky high because of the petroleum and stuff. Economy sucks. So there's a lot of blades in it, 10 blades to be exact, and they are all very sharp. I think the blades will remain sharp even though you do it like this for 3, 4, 5 kits. And the kits in question is the ones from China because it's softer plastic. If it was from Bandai, then I think you'll be tearing through these blades quickly because Bandai uses quality hard plastic. So this is how I do it. And I do not need to shave any more extra plastic because normally the extra plastic is not there, since I use the knife and cut or chop at the very end, or the closest to the part that I want from the runner. If I were to use or do the conventional way using tweezers, then I have to shave off the excess plastic because I'll be like cutting the part which is furthest away from the part that I want, such as where here, as far away from the part as possible because I don't want the tweezers to like mangle the plastic of the part that I want, and therefore there will be extra plastic, more than using this hobby knife and cutting it away from the runner. So that's why nowadays I prefer to use the hobby knife directly. Yeah, it has its uses, and I use this cloth here to like make sure the knife does not penetrate too far into the cloth and punching a hole in my table. And what happens to my cloth is like so. Let me demonstrate. After 2 or 3 kits, it's now full of holes, small little holes, because of the hobby knife puncturing through a couple of layers of cloth that have been folded together like a croissant. How you make croissant is like that. Croissant is like full of layers, and it's because the dough has been like flattened and folded again, and flattened and folded again to soften to make a pastry that is full of layers, and therefore it's soft and fluffy and tastes like croissant. Well, the taste of croissant is of course is also due to the excessive use of butter. That's why it's so delicious. So why don't I get a chopping pad or cutting pad which is green in color and has all those numbers and stuff? Because I'm not a professional hobby enthusiast for all this model making, and this might be my last kit because I'm not going to buy any more cheap ones or Bandai ones or whatever. So yeah, now I've finished the inner frame of the torso or cockpit. As usual, you'll see Char Aznable all in pink if the light was better. So this is my third Zaku II, I think. Yeah, should be the third Zaku II. Thank God I didn't buy the Shin Matsunaga, the white Zaku, or the TriStar one, which is purple in color, because that would be fun to actually do so many Zakus. I kid you not. I think I'm joking actually. Okay. So as usual, you see the cockpit that can turn left alright of the torso. I'm not sure. I do not know why they must include this feature in the Zaku II. It's very weird to actually be able to like change the position of your cockpit or chair that you're sitting on in a Zaku II. Was there a anime, the first series, did they feature this thing, the ability to change your cockpit position? What's the point of it? I'm not sure. I don't even know what the fuck is happening. So it's quite weird. At first it was cool, but if you think about it long enough and you think about it logically, it kinda like defies logic, because you would be able to put other stuff here, maybe a weapons pod and survival gear, instead of just moving the cockpit from left to right. You might think that the enemy would shoot the left or the right of the torso, and maybe you at a split second, if you think the weapon is aiming at you, you can choose to move your cockpit somewhere else instead of moving the whole Zaku to mobile suit somewhere else. So weird. I'm not a fan of it, but it seems cool at first, but it defies logic and common sense, which I do not have. So I've done the torso, no, not the torso, this is the abs inner frame, where it will connect to the pelvis of the Zaku II. And since the polycaps are all screwed up, I have to like fashion a new polycap from one of these big fellas here, so hopefully it will work. I think it will work. I tested it on the big, what do you call this thing here. Yeah, it works. So this thing here, this middle part here, is actually a nuclear reactor, so it's quite cool. Unfortunately, once you slap in the armor, it won't be able to see anything at all unless you take out the armor. So there's a sign here, danger sign, that says it's radioactive in this sticker sheet. And I'm gonna take it out and I'm going to stick it on the nuclear reactor. And while I'm trying to get this sticker out, I'm gonna tell you about the Zaku II from what I can see. So there are two primary sources of energy that powers the Zaku II. One is the nuclear reactor that produces energy in the form of maybe electricity to power up the beam weapons, and of course the running electricity that the Zaku II needs to move around. And the other, you need electricity to like power your electronic components. That is done. And the second source is propellant, maybe fuel, like combustible things such as petrol, ethanol, those things that we in the real world now use in our cars, which thank God for Tesla, that one day in the future, not too far away, that will be we won't need to deal with all this grease and petrol and all these pollutants that releases too much carbon into the atmosphere, thus fucking our chances of survival or surviving to the next 200 years without destroying our environment and therefore killing ourselves as well. So the Thai part of the Zaku II houses the propellant, whatever it may be, petrol, ethanol, and it is used for the pistons. As you can see here, there's one piston here, and also for getting around as well in space, in the form of a jetpack at the back of the Zaku II, and also the funnel or propellant tanks or the boosters that may be visible and may be on the Zaku's leg. So there You want to, like, you have a booster pack and you need to move around. You need to, like, fire up the booster, and the exhaust will come out of the funnel or of the booster, and therefore, because of Newton's law, the third law, is it, every action there's wait, I'm not sure of Newton's laws. There are 3 of them, but fuck it, never mind. You need propellant to move around, so they burn and it moves the Zaku II. I think it's the first law which dictates that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Therefore, you burn the propellant comes out through here, there's one force, and the other force is to push the Zaku II somewhere else. So I think that's how it works. So there are 2 primary sources of energy for the Zaku II to use: propellants and also the nuclear reactor that produces electricity. I'm not sure whether the Minovsky particles, don't know whether it actually provides energy or not. I'm not that sure about it. So I'm done with this. And next off, the stupid links. I think I feel for those people who love to do tanks, tank modeling. I think they have to go through all this monotonous and boring part of putting the links together for the tracks, the tank tracks. This is almost similar, I think, or maybe this is easier compared to their predicament or their troubles. I don't like doing this one. And why is that? Is because I have to, like, go through it, everything, like, cut, and normally it's not a nice cut at all. You will see the nub marks. It's whiter compared to the pink here, so it sucks. There's no other way around it. Wish they would invent something else that would make this much easier and nicer part of putting together the Zaku II. As usual, there will be some problems when connecting this front part here to this thing here, this thing that's here, yeah, that connects this piping to the front of here. So I'm gonna super glue it, of course, and since there are no poly caps here at the back of the Zaku, it won't be able to, like, connect it properly, because this one needs to be connected to the poly cap. This whole big hole is just a hole, so bloody hell, god damn it. It would be nicer to have a poly cap in there, but what can I do? So super glue all the way, and once you have applied the super glue, make sure you put the piece in front of a fan, because the super glue is very, it will make your plastic part become white. I think it's called frosting. Once it becomes frosted, it'll be like whitish and grainy. So in order to avoid that, you need to, like, make sure the vapor of the super glue is dissipated away from the plastic part. So put your plastic part in front of a fan once you've applied this, and after that put your super glue, if there's any left, in the fridge, so that it would not, like, solidify or become useless. Because normally the problem with super glue is, once you have used it, you open it already, once you have de-virginized the super glue, the parts in front here, the nozzle, will solidify. So in order to stop that, put this in the fridge. That's all. This is the inner frame of the backpack. It's quite interesting. It's quite different from the one that I made for the other Johnny Ridden, and also the Zaku II for the MS Igloo. The MS Igloo black and white version, that is. Okay, the green one. The mass produced one. Yeah, J version, Zaku II. So it's cool. Looks cool indeed with the thrusters. And also they call these fins here down below. Very nice indeed. So let's cover it up. All this fine detail must be covered up so that it would be delicious. So let's close this baby up by doing this. Yep. What a waste, you know. All that lovely looking inner detail gone. Gone. And this one too. To who? A. Yeah. Stick it in. You hear some pitter patter. That's rain. If you have a metal roof, it's kind of like annoying once it rains heavily, because everything will be very loud. Sucks. I mean, rain is nice. It cools the house down, cools the environment, at the cost of your sanity. Yep. Should be. Ah, fuck. Never mind. My Gunpla project with this Zaku II Char Aznable Zaku II project has come to a halt for a couple of days because of the polycaps debacle. Whatever came with the box has a different set of polycaps that is not used for this Zaku II. So that is why it was the last box in that shop. It's mainly because of the polycaps. This is shit. There's this part here, which is a piece for the shoulders that connects to the torso of the Zaku II. There is a polycap that connects it to this little snub here. You call it a snub, right? What's a snub? Peg? Whatever. Let's just call this a stump. Yeah, let's call it a stump instead of snub. Stump. This stump here is connected to this part here via a polycap, which is big, and it's not to be found here. There are no polycaps that can fit into this stump, and if it's either too big or it's either too small, and if it's small you have to like cut it up and try to fit it inside this thing, which does not work. I tried everything. I tried using this material which is called blue tack. It's not as good as using a polycap, of course, and if there's weight, if it has to support weight, or if you want to raise the arm up, I think it's gonna fall down because it's not strong enough. It's not like gluey enough. It does not provide resistance enough. So this blue tack, which is not blue but kind of like green, does not work. This is actually good for sticking things to other things. So the only solution is to go to a Gunpla shop, and buy the necessary or specific polycaps for a specific kit like the Zaku II. I think it's sold somewhere. There is a shop. There are one or two, actually two shops that specializes in all these Gunpla and army kits, but I do not want to waste money on such things. You might think it should be cheap, but in all these hobby shops it's goddamn expensive. This kit was quite cheap. I think it was bought for, let's see how much. It was bought for 40 ringgit, which is I think roughly translate to 10 US dollars or slightly more. If it's 10, that means it's around 30 ringgit. If it's 15, it's around 50 ringgit ish, somewhere around there. I'm not privy to the latest exchange rate between the ringgit and the US dollar, so I don't want to like spend like 20 ringgit on a 40 ringgit kit just because the polycaps are of the wrong size and of the wrong type. And of course it will make my life easier in putting this kit together, but yeah, there's a lot of things to consider. Putting this backpack into the bag is also difficult, and it can't stay on it because of the lack of a polycap in the torso, so that's a problem. I'll try to wing it. It's not enjoyable to do these kits because of the polycaps problem. I tried to like try to like scrounge around looking at the other older kits and see whether they have any polycaps that can be used for this Zaku II, and I've come up zero. None of them can help me. It's going to be terrible. And also because I stopped doing this Zaku II because when I was doing this Zaku II and when I was doing the previous kit, which is, what kit was I doing? I think it was the 7 Sword Gundam, not the Johnny Reeden type Zaku II, but the 7 Sword, which is there. When I was doing that, I was listening to what you call, better not show my face, it's ugly. I was listening to a an audiobook featuring a book called Ready Player One, which will be turned into a movie by the director Steven Spielberg. I was listening to it and I was like 2 hours away from the end of the book, and suddenly that video on YouTube was copyrighted by Penguin Books or some other book publisher. So, and I couldn't find a replacement for this audiobook. So I stopped roughly the same time as the time the book or the audiobook was copyrighted in YouTube. Therefore I lost momentum in doing this thing. And the polycaps, of course, that's the main problem. If it was smooth sailing, then I would be done with this kit by now, but this is like going to like take some time. And I think I was like smart, and the YouTube channel that was hosting or gave me the opportunity to listen to this good audiobook or good storybook, it was okay. This Ready Player One science fiction book, it was pretty good. I do not know whether it would be good to be, I mean, if I have the physical copy via a Date 3 edition like a book, or a electronic version like an iPad electronic book, ebook. I don't have an iPad, so I do not know whether it's fun to read it using your eyes, but it was good to hear the book via audiobook. The narrator was a guy by the name of Will Wheaton. If you're from America and if you like Star Trek, then you would know who he is. He's the young chap always in the bridge of the Star Trek Enterprise in the Star Trek series called Star Trek Enterprise. Is it? I think so, yeah. Star Trek Enterprise. Always talking to Picard. Picard is the father figure. Will Wheaton's character, who's a young chap, is the son of the the character he played in Star Trek Enterprise was Wesley Crusher, son to Dr. Crusher, who was quite a pretty looking doctor if you're into older women or you like MILFs, MILF. So the audiobook was a joy to listen to, and I'm quite pissed off for not finishing the book. And it was provided by a YouTube channel by the name of Fun Audio, I think. Fun Audiobook. And when they started copyrighting his stuff, I quickly go and downloaded the other books or the other audiobooks from his channel as quickly as possible before the whole channel was banned. And I was correct, the channel has no more audiobooks. So I was able to salvage a couple of audiobooks, which are Old Man's War by John Scalzi, and I scroll down, Armada by Ernest Cline. So Ready Player One book was written by Ernest Cline. So I'm not going to finish Ready Player One because it's not available freely. But if you want to get it, you have to go to what is that name of that company owned by Amazon? What's the name? Audible, yes, audible.com. So yep, I salvaged these two books from that Fun Audiobook channel. I could have gotten another book which was called The Road by what's his name, John McCarthy, I think, but that was turned into a movie starring the guy who Viggo Mortensen. Viggo Mortensen is famous for being that what's his face in Lord of the Rings, the leader of that fellowship, the human leader or the king to be. Viggo Mortensen. It was a depressing movie, and a lot of people have said that it was a very, very disturbing book. So, and a physical book or a day 3 edition of the book is similar to the audiobook. So I chose not to listen to it because I don't want to be depressed again. I'm always depressed, so why would I want to be more depressed? I already have this stupid kid to contend with because of the polycaps. Fuck. And all of them held together with blue tack does not work. Blue tack is not blue in color but green. Maybe I should actually use super glue for the backpack, but it will permanently glue the thruster backpack to the torso, and I wouldn't be able to, if in the future I wouldn't be able to open it up and play with it. I have to saw it off or pry it open and destroy the plastic or crack the plastic, since this is from TT Hongli, a third party company in China, and the plastic quality of course is not good. It's soft plastic, it can crack easily. The first kit that I made in 2012 or 13, the first kit was this Zaku II, the grunt version, the J version, the version that was used in the MSE glue. Where's the box? The box is black in color. That one there, Zaku II. There's already a couple of cracks somewhere. I don't remember. It's been a long time, like 2-3 years ago since I did this one. This one is an old kit. Some parts of the plastic is cracked, micro cracks. Don't know why. Maybe because of the thinner when I was trying to like get rid of the marker when I was marking it. What's that term called already? Marking, yeah. Sometimes I'm baffled by the over engineering of the inner frame of the leg that is for the Zaku II. So you're looking at part of it. This is the knee, and when you move it around, it's not supposed to be like that, but never mind. This is what happens when you move it. And there's a piston here as well. It's another piston. So I better complete it to let you see what happens. But what I'm trying to say is it is like over engineered. It looks great, but once you slap on the armor, everything will be closed and you can't see anything at all. What happens inside it, the pistons, the beauty of it all, like there's a piston here. It's lots of good stuff that will be hidden. Especially, it's like a girl. Girls are not meant to be wearing clothes. So, but there's only one complaint, or it is very weird that it works. I have never had my Zaku II lose its feet, or the feet. This feet becomes it comes off of the leg, but it seems like it's like not that secure. You have to put this part here into this part here, so it just push it in and it will stay on no matter what happens. You can play with your Zaku II all the time and it won't come out, it won't detach itself from the feet, the leg that is, and it does not look secure at all, but it is secure. You just put it in. Of course you have to use a lot of force to push this leg into this part here. And if you look at the feet, it's also quite over engineered. There's a piston here and there's a piston at the back. It looks great. When it moves, there are pistons moving along with the feet. It's all over engineered, but the marvel of the inner frame of the pistons will be hidden away because of the armor. Unless you strip the armor off, of course, then you get to see the marvel of it. But once you slap on the armor, you don't get to see the marvel of the pistons and the engineering. I would say that this type of like inner frame or master grade is great for stop motion. If you are planning to make some kind of a film that involves robots that move a bit and you capture a picture, then you move it a bit and you move that stop motion, then you get to see a lovely walking robot that has all the pistons inside. It's something like you can make a movie that is almost the same as Pacific Rim. So why hasn't anybody made such a movie using stop motion? I know it takes a lot of time, but damn, if somebody was able to like do a movie involving all these master grade mobile suits, it would be so awesome. That's all I wanted to say. It's over engineered, and the marvel of this inner frame is obscured by the armor that you will slap on it. This is the leg of the Zaku II, the inner frame, without its parts here, and it looks kind of like different from the other Zaku II's inner frame legs. It's different from the legs of the other Zaku II's in terms of the inner frame. This one, they are like, this here is completed. I already put in all of the armor, I mean not the armor, the inner frame, completed inner frame of the leg, whereas this one I still have 2 more pieces to go, which is easy to just snap on it. But these parts here are different from the Zaku J version and the Johnny Reeden, and maybe also different from the ones found on the Shin Matsunaga and also the TriStar version. So I want to demonstrate to you how bendy that this leg is. The articulation of this leg is phenomenal. It can bend. This is the knee. This is the knee joint, and this is the thigh, and this is the leg, lower leg. So it can bend all the way like so. Holy shit! He can do squats. Yeah, just imagine him doing a squatting pose with this foot on. Squatting, taking a dump, Asian style. Yeah, squatting to take a dump. You can do that with this inner frame of the Zaku II. But once you slap on the armor, well, that's nigh impossible to bend it like this. So, yep, let's put on the armor and see whether it bends like this or not. So this is the leg in all its full armored glory. Looks cool. But since this is a pirated Gundam, it's not like clicking together much. You can see the seams here, so that's a problem. But since it's not Bandai, it's okay. So I'm gonna bend it and see whether you're gonna get a 180-degree bend. Don't you love it when that knee here bends and moves along? And it's not totally 180 degrees, but it's more than 90 degrees, and that's a good bend. It's not bad at all. Good bend. This is the Char Aznable Zaku II. It's a MS-06S series, and is in its vanilla form, without panel lining, without stickers, and also dry transfers. It looks great. It's mostly pink. There are 3 shades of red actually. There's the pink, which is this one. There's the dark purple, which is the front part. And there's the backpack, which is bright red or blood red. It's very weird. So this red comet is more pink than red. I did a lot of modifications to it because as you know, the polycaps that came with this Zaku II from TT Hongli was not the right polycaps. that is supposed to be used on a Zaku II. There are many polycaps like the ones that connects the shoulder to the torso. The polycap is very unique to Zaku IIs. With the help of super glue, elephant super glue to be more specific, I was able to make the joints work. The backpack is snugged permanently into the torso, and many things can not be removed ever again because super glue is very strong. It was a fun build, and I have more to go. The next time you see any of this video, I'm going to feature the weapons, which I haven't started yet. I took out the thrusters that were normally dark grey from the ankle of the Zaku II, and also the thrusters of the backpack, which is this one here. I painted it gold with this, new Artline 900XF gold metallic ink, xylene free. I had it for 3 years, I think, and it was just in my bag of pens, so might as well use it, open it up from its new packaging here and paint it. So a bit of gold here in the backpack, and a bit of silver here from the very old painty zig thingy silver. There's like no more liquid in it, but there's still some in the pointy thing that is used to write on things. So cool beans. Gold here, gold there, gold everywhere. Where old MacDonald had a gold. E-I-E-I-O. So it's nice to put some gold here and there. Maybe I'll put some gold here, or silver. Interesting, or silver here. Or small little round stuff I can put silver to make it look like, wow, it looks like it has some silver in it. Cool. I'm gonna do that. So this is the Zaku II Char Aznable version, painted and panel lined. The next step is to put on the dry transfers and also the stickers. You can see some silver there. All the silver and gold that you see on this kit is done with markers. Even the bottom thrusters, I think they are thrusters, I'm not sure, have been colored gold. Now these 3 thrusters and 2 thrusters at the back, in front of the calf of the leg, has been painted gold, as well as the backpack thrusters. The bazooka has been done, as well as the machine gun, and also this little thing here, this machine that helps the pilot go on to the Zaku II, or go into the cockpit of the Zaku II, Char Aznable specifically. The Char Aznable Zaku II is finished, all deckled up with dry transfers and stickers. Again, the stickers are definitely not nice. You can see the square boundaries of the sticker. It sucks completely. The heat saber has been painted gold and silver with markers. And this is the top of the Zaku II. I don't really like the position of the pipings or the railings here. It should be more streamlined or next to the helmet, but it's shaped quite oddly enough, like the tip of the penis or mushroom shape. The visor of the helmet has been taken out because it's so reflective and a bit not 100% translucent, so it actually obscures the mono eye of the Zaku II. And I've already taken out the sticker for the mono eye and painted it red myself. It is similar to the clear piece of this sight for the machine gun. I painted it red. I don't know what you call it, but I think I'll call it the escalator. Is a very nice touch, and it will be good for dioramas, and it can be folded up like so, and like so, and like so. It's quite cool. This is the back of the Zaku II. Again, the stickers is quite prominent and conspicuous. It's disgusting actually. If you have a chance, or if you buy all this TT Hongli stuff or pirated knockouts, or knock-offs of all these Gundams, do not apply the stickers. It's hideous. It's ugly as sin. And you can see around the hole of the back skirt armor, you can see the stress, because I tried to put this extra clip of ammo to the back of it. You can do so, but you'll stress it out and you can see the white stressed plastic. This is the side of the Zaku II, and this is the other side. The cockpit hatch can be opened up, definitely. I have to use tweezers to open it. And it's now open. You should be able to see a little pink Char Aznable inside the cockpit, or on a chair. You get a little Char Aznable standing up. A helmet, top helmet, that has no hole for the antenna, no hole at all. And there's this type of antenna. And you can pose your Zaku II like that. With a little Char Aznable on the palm of his hand. I forgot, it comes with a butt plug. Unfortunately, like all master grades, most master grades, it does not come with a stand. Only a butt plug. Stands are sold separately, but butt plugs are freely available. I'm trying to pose this fella like what's posed in the picture, but it will be quite difficult to really pull off that pose. So this is as good as it gets. So final thoughts: great kits from TT Hongli, but the plastic is soft. It will stress, you'll get white marks on it, and unfortunately with this TT Hongli kit I got the wrong polycaps. It was a challenge to scrounge around for polycaps, so I had to make use of blue tack or some kind of gluey things, some kind of glue. I had to use some super glue to make sure those plastic parts do not pop out, and it was quite a challenge. But is it fun? Well, yeah, kinda. So it's great stuff. So these are my 3 Zakus. They do look awesome, even though in different colors. Oh, there might be Zakus, but some of them are quite different from others in terms of the backpacks that they carry, and also the legs. The legs are different. The lower part of the leg, that is. But the rest is almost the same. So thank you very much for watching the video. Do help me in making the next video. Support me through Patreon, or give me or send me a master grade. Thank you very much, and see you guys. Bye bye.